And it's been said many times that politics in Texas really is a bare-knuckle affair, which begs the question, is this criminal case against the governor serious business or just political gamesmanship? Fox 26's Greg Grugan is here now with more on the story. Greg?
Don, today Rick Perry became just the second governor in Texas history to be officially charged with a crime while in office. You have to go back to 1917, nearly a century ago, to find the first. Democrat James Paul Ferguson was indicted on corruption charges and later impeached and convicted by the Texas legislature. He was actually banned from holding public office anywhere in the Lone Star State. Now the question is, could Rick Perry suffer the same fate as Paul Ferguson? Fox 26 analyst Chris Tritico is here to talk about the case. Chris, should Rick Perry be worried?
Well, anytime you get indicted for a felony offense, you should be worried, and you should get the best lawyer you can get to assist you with this. He's hired David Botsford, a great trial lawyer out of Austin, a good criminal defense attorney. So, yeah, he should take this very seriously.
Is Rick Perry's mistake speaking and not just acting here?
That is exactly what his mistake is. Had Rick Perry had the absolute authority, constitutional authority, to veto this legislation funding this office, his mistake and what got him indicted was threatening her to resign or I will veto it. That's why he got indicted, not because he vetoed it.
Some pretty eye-catching penalties in this case, very stiff.
Well, the coercion case, I'm sorry, the abuse case is a first-degree felony. That carries a maximum of 99 years or life in prison for that. And so, yes, if he gets convicted of that, then he could go to prison. I doubt it, but that's the range of punishment.
Okay, you've looked at both counts. Which one should Rick Perry worry about the most?
I actually think the coercion case, the second count, which is a third-degree felony, is really the stronger case for the state to make, because the way they've crafted this indictment, they have to prove that he intentionally misused the property or the cash, the money, and because in the way they've indicted it, they have to prove that he did that intentionally because of the threat. That's going to be a very hard case to make. The other case, the coercion case, is just straight up. You tried to coerce her into resigning. That's an easier case for the state to make.
Political gamesmanship in Texas, or, you know, possibly history-making penalties here?
Well, both. But this prosecutor was nominated by the president to be a U.S. attorney. He had bipartisan support, and so I really don't see this as a political move on this individual prosecutor's part.
Chris Tritico, thank you very much for that insight. Don, back to you.
All right, Greg Grugan, thank you. Well, now comes the political fallout, and you know there's going to be fallout from something like this. Joining us tonight to talk about the governor being indicted, we've brought together a political panel. I can tell you they're both Democrats and Republicans. Jenard Jenkins on the left with the Harris County Democratic Party. Thanks for being with us. Kathleen McKinley with the Houston Chronicle, your conservative blogger. Joe Slovacek, Harris County Republican Party, and Sue Davis, a Democratic strategist. Thank you all for joining us. Jenard, I'm going to start right with you. The Democratic perspective on the governor being indicted on these charges.
Well, first of all, this is something that they can't blame on President Obama. They usually blame everything on him, and actually this is something that was handled right here in the state of Texas. This was an independent grand jury. As a matter of fact, the special prosecutor was actually a U.S. attorney under President George Bush, and we're talking about one-party rule in Texas. They've been in power, the Republicans have been, for 20 years in the state, and this is the type of arrogance and the type of problems that tend to happen when you're dealing with one-party rule. If you have a government from the top that's unchecked by the other side, these are the types of things that tend to happen. This is the reason why I think Texans this fall are going to take a serious look at Senator Davis and Senator Leticia Van de Putte.
We're talking about a one-party rule. At the same time, Austin is quite a bit more liberal than the rest of the state of Texas, Travis County in particular, and this is a Travis County grand jury, not a state jury. These are people who are elected by voters just in Austin to make these decisions as far as the grand jury and the prosecutors go. Kathleen, I'm curious if you agree with Jenard that there's nothing political here.
No, he's been governor for 14 years, and we've had 20 years of economic growth. We're running the engine of the country right now, so I think Republicans being in charge is a good thing. But it's absolutely political. This is my question, and I come from just a Texas citizen. You know, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know all about the legal things, but I don't know if y'all have shown the arrest tape of the district attorney, but you know, here is the district attorney who has power over 254 counties, and her arrest, if you've seen the show Cops, when someone's out of control and they put you in the chair and strap you in and put the mask over you, that was what she did when she got her DUI. That is something that when you lose the public's trust like that, you should resign. And I think Governor Perry did what he had to do because she wouldn't. And I think from what I understand, he had the constitutional ability to do that.
Our legal expert, Chris Tritico, said, well, he could have said, yes, he's going to veto this, and she must resign. The difference being, and I know you are a lawyer, Joe, that there was a threat, if you will, made. You must resign or I'll veto this. And the difference there, a few words, is a potential 99-year prison sentence.
How dangerous is it, though, that we criminalize politics? Okay, why is it that Rick Perry has returned the integrity to the integrity unit? He's done his job as governor. He's vetoed a bill that was bad business. And now he's been indicted by this DA. How many Democrats have been indicted in Travis County, Jenard? It's only the Republicans. If you can't beat them, indict them. That's the motto in Travis County.
Jenard, I'm going to let you weigh in. I want to talk to Sue first real quick, and then we'll get on that point. Sue.
Well, I mean, this isn't about Rosemary Lindbergh. This is about Rick Perry. This isn't about whether Rick Perry has helped the economy of Texas. This is about he made a threat. I'm the governor. You either, you know, I'm going to take the money away unless somebody I want to resign resigns because I tell them to. That's, you know, that's what this is about.
Did he not have a point? If you did, as Kathleen mentioned, see the videotape there of the prosecutor there saying, well, she's lost the public trust to be the prosecutor in that county and use what leverage he can to try to get her out of office, Jenard?
Well, it wouldn't be a problem if it were legal. It's illegal for him to do that, and that's what makes it a problem. The issue that we're talking about here is when he cut off funding to her office, basically staff had to be cut, which means people have actually lost their jobs in this situation. And when you're talking about the public trust, you would like to believe that you have a governor who would put his own people ahead of his own party and its own politics. We're not talking about the DA here. We're talking about an independent special prosecutor who worked under George W. Bush, let me point that out, who actually brought these charges to an independent grand jury, and they decided to indict.
I'm going to try to give about equal time here, so I need to go back to one of our Republicans. You can pick or choose who'd like to respond.
Well, I would just say that I don't think you could say that it's not political when Travis County is a liberal community and that this doesn't happen to Democrats there. So I just feel like, how can Perry allow someone who's a district attorney of Travis County and has so much power to continue when she doesn't have the public's trust anymore? That was his responsibility for the state to make sure that she resigns, and she refused. She just wouldn't do it. So he used the power that he did have.
We're talking about inside political games.
Sure,
that the Republican
let's let
parties
Sue jump
play.
in here real quickly.
I mean, let's keep this to what it is. This is not about Rosemary Lindbergh. This is about Rick Perry. This is not a charge against her. This is a charge against Rick Perry.
This is about revenge.
Revenge?
We have revenge from the governor on the DA, and he got caught, and now he's facing charges.
For humiliating her and making her
she served her punishment.
She humiliated
Joe,
her.
I'm going to give you about 15 seconds for the last word.
Let me tell you, as I said, if you can't beat them, indict them. The Republican Party has fared well in Texas. They've done exactly what the people elected them to do. This has been the best chief executive officer we've had in our history, Rick Perry. Look at the economy. Look at how well things are going. And by the way, your friend Obama must be worried about him in Washington. Otherwise, they must think he's going to make a run for presidency. Otherwise, this executive order would not have come down from Washington.
Well, the big question is how this will impact that. We have so much more we could talk about, but we're out of time for this. Let's all do this again maybe Monday.
Yes.
All right. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.